Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I am recording on the Zoom line here. So anyone who joins the Zoom line, this is the recording that's going to go up on YouTube and Facebook, but I also am going live in the Facebook chat or the Facebook event as well. So that way everyone has access to this call. But today what I want to do is talk to you guys about how I started my online fitness business from my kitchen table. And it's funny, when I was actually going through this process and thinking about when I actually started my fitness business, actually it wasn't even my kitchen table, it was my mother's kitchen table. So 7 years ago, I actually started my kind of online fitness journey. And it started actually when I did everything right growing up. Okay, I'll kind of back up a little bit more. I did everything right growing up. I went to a good school. I went to a good college. So I went to school at Penn State on the East Coast. I did all the internships. I did everything that you're supposed to do. At the age of 14, I knew that I wanted to be in marketing. I remember doing a class project about marketing, and I said, that's what I want to do. And so from the age of 18 or 14, I always had my eyes set on being this marketing guru. I don't even really know, but that was my goal. It was like the perfect blend of business and creativity and working with people. So I love all those three things. And I did everything right. Like I said, I went to a good school, went to a good college, did the internships right out of college, got a job with one of the largest media companies in the world, and was just kind of going through the motions there. And what I realized in my 4.5-year career in corporate marketing and branding and PR and communications is that I am not a good employee. I just really struggled with the day-to-day kind of minutia of corporate America. I felt very trapped. I felt very stressed out with it. I felt very confined. And it really was something that I just knew wasn't what I was cut out to do. Being in an office all day, being behind a computer was just something that just made me just feel trapped, and I didn't like it. So at the age of 25, I quit my job and I had an eat, pray, love moment, and I went to Europe. And I went to Europe for 10 months. And when I was there, I really was using it as a way to try to figure out how to do some consulting work with my marketing, because I thought, well, if I'm not working corporately, maybe I'll enjoy it better if I'm running my own business and doing it as a consultant. So I started doing some consulting work, which was okay, but there was still that trapped feeling, that like unfulfilled feeling. And I really at that point felt like I was a complete failure. I remember calling my mom and I was crying to her, like, I can't do this. Like, I've worked so hard for the past 10 years of my life thinking that this is going to be what I was going to do for the rest of my life and build a career and build my own business. And, I'd had my own marketing firm now that I was building up and getting consulting projects and hiring consultants and other contractors. And even in that, building that business had me so stressed out. It just threw me into thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt trying to start this marketing business. I wasn't enjoying the process. I wasn't really enjoying the projects I was getting. I wasn't really having good communications with my contractors and my other consultants I was hiring. And it was like I was stressed out with my corporate job. I was stressed out with my business. And I just thought I'm a complete failure. So I moved back to the States. And while I was in Europe, one thing that I did for myself was I spent a lot of time in self-care. I was hiking every day. I was eating healthy. I was cooking all these meals. I was walking around. I was working out. Everything started changing for me physically. I started feeling just so much better about myself and my body. And it was really frustrating that my physical side was finally on an uprise, because also I've struggled in the past with depression, and I had 2 failed suicide attempts and anxiety and all these things going on. And so I really, when I quit my job, a big part of it also was just getting back to me in that same process. So I was kind of doing all that stuff. And, when I came back to the States, I gained all the weight back. My skin started breaking out. I was starting to have anxiety and panic attacks and all these things. And that's the first time that something really clicked. Because I fell into fitness by accident, truth be told. Fitness was never something I was passionate about, it never was something I thought I could make a career out of. It was just something that I had to do out of necessity because I was so depressed and so frustrated and so like just struggling with a lot of things mentally and emotionally and spiritually, that the physical aspect was what really got me back to feeling a little bit better about myself. So when I got back to the States, I realized I was gaining all the weight back. So in that time, which is really interesting, I just started using social media as like a way to just document my journey, to stay accountable, and to maybe inspire and help other people who are on their journey. So that was like the first kind of inkling that I was on to something. And I just kept doing it. I would post my workouts. So I was doing Insanity at the time, which is a home fitness program. And I was just sharing what I was doing, and that was really great. And then from there, things have started to change because people were now reaching out to me. People were now contacting me. People were now asking me questions about my meals and my workouts and different things like that. And that was the second time where I realized that something was changing, something was happening, because while I was still using social media as my just kind of outlet to motivate myself and motivate others, I was still trying to build this marketing company. I was still trying to get that off the ground. It was giving me more and more headaches, more and more struggles. But the only thing that I really saw changing was that people kept coming to me and asking me for advice, telling me that my posts were really motivating to them, and it's really giving me just a lot of positive feedback. And at that moment, I had two businesses I was trying to start. I had my marketing firm, which was something I'd worked on for the past, few years, and was building that up. And then I had this kind of hobby passion project of me on social media sharing. And the marketing company was just dragging me down, making me super stressed. And then I had this fitness passion project that made me motivated, that got me up every morning, that had me super excited, that made me excited to talk to people. It held me accountable to my own fitness. And that's when I knew that something had to give and something had to go. And so I closed up my marketing business and really dove full into my fitness business, which soon became my fitness business. Fast forward 7 years, I am a certified personal trainer. I am a precision nutrition coach. I have spoken all over the country, internationally, on health, fitness, wellness, self-care, empowerment, motivation. I've co-authored books. I have created an ebook on clean eating. I have partnered with Women's Health Magazine as one of their Women's Health Action Heroes, where I do a lot of events and ambassador work with them. I'm a part of the Men's Health Fitness Council. I've been featured in Reader's Digest, Prevention Magazine, NBC, a lot of different health and fitness and wellness publications. And it really is because of making that decision to just follow my passion and do what I was already doing and just figure out a way to turn it into a business. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys today about. And that's a little bit of my journey. It's not the full journey, but it's enough for you guys to understand that if you take nothing from this, understand that if you are a person who is currently working on their health and fitness journey, right? You don't have to be perfect, because I was nowhere in perfect shape. I wasn't, all about fitness and nutrition. I was still figuring things out for my own body and my own self, but I just started just posting and sharing. And the world that we live in now, with the power of social media and the power of just, how things work now with marketing and social media and branding, you can really build a fitness business that can really create a lot of great opportunities, real income, and just a lot of fun. So that's really what I want to talk to you guys today about. And I want to share with you guys 5 things that really helped me to get started. And these are things that I've also taught coaches that I work with. So a part of what I do as well is I work with people who are kind of like me, or like me 7 years ago. You're on a journey, you're sharing your stuff on social media, you're helping people in your community, you're really passionate about health and fitness and wellness, and you just need a little bit more support and structure around how to build a business to help you reach whatever goals they are. Quit your day job, save money for a college fund or for a vacation or a honeymoon, or pay off debt, or just have a little bit more freedom, or whatever your goals are. They're all possible, and that's what I do, as well as the speaking and the training and the coaching. I also work with coaches to help them build their business. And I'll talk a little bit more about how I work with coaches at the end, but I want to give you these tips because if anything, this will at least help you if you're thinking about doing it, okay? So the first thing that you want to know, there's 5 things, and they all start with the C, oddly enough. So the first thing is clarity, okay? This is really important because I think that whenever you're starting a business, especially in a business around health and wellness and fitness and nutrition and things like that, it's really important that you have, because it's so broad, it's such a broad business, right? In the industry, that you have to, one, be clear about what it is you want to do. So the first thing is you have to understand and figure out what do you offer? What do you want to create? What type of business do you want to have? And a part of that is also thinking about how do you want to run your business? Remember, guys, I told you I hated being stuck in an office. I hated it. I hated being stuck on a phone all day. I hated all of that minutia. I hated having someone micromanaging me and telling me what to do. I hated having to show up at a certain time, stay in an office all day, even if I was done with my work, just so that way I can show face that I've been there all day. When I'm like done, I've been done since 12 o'clock. I wanted to have a business that I could do on my own time, that I could, create my own flexibility, create my own schedule. And that's the thing. When you're building a business, you have the ability, you have the freedom and the flexibility to create the business that you want. So you first want to be very specific on the type of business that you want. So that's the first thing you want to get clarity on. For an online business, you can work from anywhere. I work from home. I work from my bedroom. I work from my kitchen. I work at coffee shops. I work at the park. I work on airplanes. I mean, I've gotten some of my best work done at the airplane, during my layover at an airport. I've worked on the beach. I've worked anywhere that has Wi-Fi connection. I have worked my business. As long as I have my phone or my laptop or my tablet, I can work from anywhere. And that was something that was really important to me, was the freedom aspect of it. I needed something that would allow me to be free and flexible so I could spend more time with my family and just more time with myself. So that's the first thing. You want to kind of think about what type of business that you want. Even right now, like what time do you have? How much time do you have to run your business? That's the first thing. Then you want to think about, and this is a big one, because I think a lot of people just dive into it, whether you're starting with a company or you're starting on your own, you just dive into things and you haven't really thought about who exactly do you want to help. When it comes to fitness and wellness and nutrition, I'm going to be very honest with you. You have to think about helping people, okay? That is your goal. That is how you work with people. You'll be successful when you focus on helping people. So if you think about, who do I want to help? And to be honest, for me, it was really easy for me to figure out who I wanted to help, because all I did was think about who I was before I started being consistent with being healthy and eating clean. I thought about the things that I went through. So a lot of it has to do with mindset. I work with women, especially women who have tried to lose weight. They've tried every fad diet. They've tried every type of pill, wrap, all these things to feel skinny. So they focus so much on skinny, and they focus so much on the number on the scale. And that is the biggest thing that I found that really wrecked my mindset, my psyche, my mental and emotional well-being. I was so focused on comparing myself to other people and being so desperate to find that one thing. And I was going for every single quick fix to go through to get results. And it wasn't until I just made the commitment to just focus on the behaviors and the habits that I was going to create instead of the number on the scale and not being skinny. It got to a point where I just wanted to feel healthy and strong. I wanted to create habits that would be a sustainable lifestyle because I was sick and tired of wasting money and wasting time on every single diet and fad that was around there. And those are the people that I like to work with because I have experience with that with my own self. And 7 years now, I feel healthy. I feel strong. I have a lifestyle that is sustainable. I've been able to lose the weight, keep it off, continue to get stronger, continue to grow, continue to develop. And that's what I want for other people. I also understand that mindset piece of it because I have struggled with depression for about half of my life. Depression, anxiety, panic attacks, failed suicide attempts, self-hatred, self-loathing, not having self-respect, not having self-esteem, all these things, being in bad relationships, bad living situations, just bad stuff, negativity. And that's really, if you guys follow me on social media, then a big part of my brand is about motivation and inspiration and faith and lifestyle and mindset. Because that's so important, because I know that if I can work on that with my people, with my tribe of people, then from there, the weight loss and the fitness and the nutrition is easy. So that's one thing too to really think about as you're going through the process. Who exactly do you want to work on? Because a lot of people, they'll just focus on everyone. That's a big thing that people do is they focus on if you have a pulse and a credit card, you're my ideal client. And I did that for a while, and it was stressful because I was working with people that I couldn't necessarily make the connection with. I couldn't really get them to get results. And when you're in the fitness industry and you're working with people, their results are a big part of your brand. And if you can't get people from point A to point B, chances are you haven't really dug deep enough into who you really can help and understanding what they go through and knowing who they are and what they're about and what they need. So that's what I would say is clarity in your tribe, clarity in the people that you want to help, and really think about it. Take some time and just write it down. I can't find my notebook right now, but I have a notebook and I've written down exactly who I want to help. And that's going to give you some insight in how to market yourself, how to brand yourself, how to speak about what you do, the colors you pick for your business. All these things really do revolve around clarity in your business, the services and the offerings that you provide, as well as the people that you serve and the people that you help. If you can get that done, you're already light years ahead. Okay, so that's the first thing. And then you lastly want to think about how exactly can you help them. Okay, so this is something to think about. You know what type of business you want to have. You know who you want to help. Now you have to figure out how do you help them. And the best way to answer that question is, what specific problem can you solve for that person or that group of people? And for me, and for a lot of the coaches that I work with and that I kind of help, is that I found that most people, they know that they need to work out, eat healthy, take care of themselves, but they don't. So I had to figure out, why don't they do that? A lot of it has to do with mindset. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's so much information on the internet that people get so confused about what they should do, what they should eat. They will follow an Instagram workout, then a Pinterest workout, then they go onto YouTube and they're doing all this stuff. There's no structure to their fitness and their nutrition, and there's no element of support around what they're doing. And so they're going at it alone, or they're getting bad information and they have no one to keep them accountable. So when I work with my team of coaches, that's what we offer. We offer structure and support. That's how we roll. And we do that through hosting these awesome groups that really work well with our people. So once you figure out, I help people by offering structure and support. All you have to do is figure out the issues and the problems that they have around that. And that's a big part. When you know your story, you know your journey, you relate it back to the people you want to help, figure out what their problem is, and then solve it in an environment that has the structure around fitness and nutrition and the support to hold them accountable. That is a secret sauce to having a successful online fitness and health coaching business. That's it. That's the foundation of it. If you have clarity in those things, it's easy to do the rest. because you now know how to market yourself, how to speak to your people, how to brand yourself, how to connect with people, and that's it. So first is get clarity, okay? 2, consistency. I don't care if you're working this business an hour a day, 4 hours a day, 8 hours a day, or if you're all the time on working this business. You have to be consistent. So number 1 was clarity. Number 2 is consistency. Consistency is key. You have to treat this like a business no matter how many hours you're putting in. You have to switch your brain from being the employee to being the entrepreneur, because this is now a business. And you have to remember, you're working with people who are probably a little bit, struggling with weight, struggling with health, just got a bad report from the doctor, just, saw a picture of themselves they weren't happy with, just had someone give them a negative comment about their weight or their body. They've just, gone through something. And if you're not consistently showing up in your business and doing what needs to be done, then you are now creating this uncertainty. Your lack of consistency will create uncertainty to your potential customers and clients. So you have to show up every day. You have to be consistent in what you're doing with your business. And it's like building momentum. And as you're building a business, life is going to happen. Things are going to happen. You may not feel like waking up and doing the work today. You may not do it. But when you get to that point where you realize this is a business and it's not like a hobby, and you commit to your business, you'll start to build momentum. And a big thing that helps me to stay consistent is having a very powerful why. Having a reason to wake up every morning and just make the sacrifice or the compromise of, to sacrifice watching Game of Thrones, to sit down at your computer or sit down at your phone and to get some work done, to work on your business. It's so easy to get distracted. What I do now is when I sit down and work on my business, I turn my phone on airplane mode. I turn my notifications off. I don't even focus on anything. All I do is get to work. I have a list of my to-do list. I go through that to-do list of everything that I need to do. And that's what I do in that hour, 2 hours, if I only have 30 minutes, I buckle down, laser focused. All hands are on deck during that time. So it doesn't matter if you are working a 9-to-5 job or if you're, whatever. When I was training at a gym, I was still working my online fitness business. And in between clients, I would go to the front of the gym, put my headphones in, bang out some emails, get on the phone, talk to some clients, do some trainings like this, do some webinars, post on social media. I made it non-negotiable. I had to keep showing up for my people online that I was working with. Even though I had a 9-to-5 job where I was working up at 5 o'clock in the morning, home at 7 o'clock, finding little spots in the middle of the day to work my business. Now I no longer do that because it was just too much for me. So I now just do this again full time. And then I train a few people here and there because I still love training, but it's not my full-time gig. This is my full-time business, working with my online coaching people, clients, challengers, and working with a team of coaches and helping them to build their own online coaching business. That's really the main part of what I do. Everything else is secondary, but this is something I'm consistently working on. And so you have to have that why. For me, my why is very simple. It's about freedom. You guys already know when I first started, I told you guys, I didn't like being a part of corporate America. It was stressful. I just felt trapped. I had to ask for days off that were like legally given to me. You legally have like 10 days of like vacation, which is also like 10 days out of a whole year vacation. I couldn't get down with that either because your girl loves to travel and I couldn't deal with that either. And so what I thought was, if I were to start on my own and start something on my own, I never want to, not be able to, if someone needed me, if someone in my family or a loved one needed me, and I live in California and they're across the country, at any given moment, I could pick up and go be with them without even hesitation. I don't have to ask permission. I don't have to juggle my calendar. I don't have to get people to cover my shifts. I could just go. And in 2 times in my life, hopefully I don't get emotional, 2 times in my life, I've gotten that. Okay, I'm getting emotional. 2 times in my life, I've gotten that phone call from my family in North Carolina. The first phone call was my grandmother had dementia and Alzheimer's, and she was slowly starting to begin the process to transition from this life to the next. And I remember talking to my mom and just seeing how stressed out she was about it. And I said, I'm going to come. I'm going to just come to North Carolina. I'm going to help out. And I got my laptop, my iPad, my phone, and I left and spent 4 months in North Carolina being able to take care of my grandmother and help around the house and help with all those things and spend time with her. To be able to spend time with my grandmother during the last 4 months of her life is something that I'll never forget. And I'm so grateful that I had this business to allow me to do that for 4 months. So that's the first thing. So that's my why. A few months ago, I was training at the gym, and my mom called me and said she was having surgery, and I could tell that she wanted me to be there. And as a child, when your mom calls you and tells you that, I knew that I had to be there. And I left the gym. And I said, okay, this is taking me away from what I set out to do. I love personal training, but my family is more important to me. And I left. And yet again, I was able to take my phone, my laptop, my iPad to North Carolina and spend 2 weeks with my mom, just being with her and loving on her and not having to worry about money or any of that. And that's what it's about for me, personally. On the other side, it's about knowing that there are people out there who are struggling with weight loss and struggling with self-esteem and struggling with depression and anxiety and all of these things. And knowing that I've been through that and I know how awful it is. And I wish that on no one. And to know that there are some people that I've talked to on social media, on Instagram. There's one person in particular that I've been talking to for the past week, just met as strangers. And she was telling me that no one in her life supported her weight loss journey. Not even her husband, her family, no one. And that I was one of the only people that she was talking to on social media that was motivating her. That's another reason why I do it. Because I never want anyone to feel alone going through this journey, because I did it alone and it wasn't fun. So you have to have reasons that are going to make you show up every single day. And that's what I have. And I keep out those things, the freedom to be available to my family and to my future family when I have children and when I have, when I'm married. I never want to miss anything of my children's life. And I always want to be there for my spouse and to know that I can always be available. Those are the things that really push me. And I'm going to challenge you to figure out what your why is and think about how creating this business or digging into your business, if you already have one, can be a game changer and make your why your reality. That's my reality now. So think about that, and then you just show up. And when it comes to consistency also, because you know who you're talking to, you know what they struggle with, when you're online or when you're in your groups, when you're talking to people, you have to make sure that your message and your brand is consistent as well. And that leads me into number 3, your content. So we've already talked about being clear in the business that you want, the people you're going to help, and how you're going to help them. We've just talked about the power of being consistent with your brand and your messaging, but also being consistent in showing up every single day in your business, because now you're a business owner. If you don't do your job at your 9 to 5, you get fired. If you don't show up in your business every day, whether it's 30 minutes a day, an hour, 4 hours, whatever it is, then you lose momentum. And it's so hard to pick up momentum every time you lose it, because you stop when you don't feel like working your business. Okay? This is me being that tough love, but I'm trying to get you guys to see that it wasn't easy. It wasn't always easy for me to do this. Life threw curveballs, but I still went through the process. And that's one thing that I do when it comes to the consistency part, is that I actually teach my team of coaches I call it the power hour, and I give you guys specific tasks and things to do to focus on your business that's going to move your business forward. Because some people, again, they need the structure and the support for your business. And so that's what I supply to my team of coaches, is that. So you want to make sure you have that going for you. The next thing is you want to have is your content. Because it's a online business, a lot of your content's going to be through social media and online. And for those of you who are like, I don't do social media, then you're missing a huge market, because social media creates opportunities for you to connect with people all over the world to grow your brand and your business. So if you're saying that you don't do social media, then you're basically saying you don't want to grow your business and you are okay limiting yourself. And if you say you don't do social media, think of it in the terms of, this is using social media for business purposes, not for personal. Social media is a major tool, and most people use it incorrectly. They either use it as a sales platform, so they're just like blasting pictures of like products and all this stuff, and they're not really focusing on themselves, or they're using it as like their personal journal. Like, both are wrong. Social media is a social platform for you to be social on, okay? Even if you're using it for business, you still use it for the purpose of being social. So that's something that I often have to work with a lot of the coaches that I work with on my team, is really showing them how to use social media in a way that's authentic, that is not icky and salesy, and that you find platforms that you're comfortable with. Because some people are just afraid to use social media because they're uncomfortable with it, or they had a bad experience, or whatever the case may be. You guys know me. I'm always on social media. I love it. I'm always researching it. I'm always learning new things. I'm listening to podcasts about it, because I think it's such an amazing tool. It's such an amazing tool to share your message. Not to market yourself. That's not what it's for. It's to share your message, to connect with more people that you can help. That's how you should be using social media for your business. Every day when I get on Facebook and Instagram and all these things, you know, I'm asking myself, who can I help today? And that's what I do. I just go online and I just look and see what people are posting about. I'm asking questions. I'm connecting with them. I'm paying attention to what they're saying. I'm just sharing content of things that would help me stay accountable. So I'm sharing my own workouts. I'm sharing new recipes. I'm sharing things to show people that I am a person who's walking the walk and talking the talk. And you want to create content on social media that's going to be engaging to your niche, which we already discussed in point 1 of clarity of who you're talking to. If you want to talk to people who are focused on a plant-based diet, then you should be posting more things about your plant-based diet. You should be sharing your recipes. And you know what you'll find is people who aren't even all about plant-based diets may get curious and may want to talk to you. Yeah, Regina, that's what it's about. Who can I help? That's how you want to use this platform. So think about it, you guys. Think about who you can help. And then that's the basis of your social media content. It's not posting pictures and like text on photos and you like, you know, like, oh, this is my fish food, but like, fish food's great, you know, and every picture is you with like fish food and like all crazy and like, you know, kissing the fish food and it's like on your head and it's, you know, it happens to always be in like the background of something. Like, no, people don't care about the products that you represent. You know, I'm with Beachbody, okay? And I'm not always talking about Shakeology and all these programs, although they're amazing. I'm thinking, how can I help someone today? Because everyone knows I'm a Beachbody coach. Everyone knows I'm a personal trainer. Everyone knows I'm a nutrition coach. So everyone knows if they want to work with me, all they have to do is reach out. And chances are I will go out and reach out to them as well if I think I can help them. But if I don't think I can help you, I'm not going to spam your inbox like, hey, do you want to work out or whatever? Because that's creepy. That's not fair. And that, you know, is something that I really, because I think of my marketing background and my branding and social media and PR and communications background, this is something that I spend a lot of time with my team of coaches and training them on is how to use social media in a way that's authentic to you. And here's something to think about. I'm a lot of like repetitive like letters, but write this down. Okay, you want to post with a purpose. Okay, you always want to make sure that when you're posting for business, your posts either educate, empower, entertain, engage, or evoke something. Sometimes it's going to ruffle some feathers. So sometimes I'll post something and I'll call someone out, and I'm doing it because they need some tough love from a coach, because no one else is going to be honest with them. When someone's like, oh, I'm eating healthy and whatever, and then like I see that they are, not eating healthy, but they're, or they'll tell me if their goals eat healthy, I'm going to call them out. And I'm going to give them some suggestions, whether it's a message or a text or whatever, or I'm going to tag them in a post that I did a few weeks ago about some healthier options because they're struggling with that. Like, you want to make sure that what you're posting when it's business purposes, there's a purpose for it. And it all goes back to helping people. Because when you help people and you're doing it from an authentic place, the business karma will always pay it back to you. But if you open up your computer and you're thinking, who can I sell to today? It's going to come off salesy and gross. And that type of mentality gives people like me and people like the coaches that I work with a bad rap. Because we're here trying to be authentic and trying to help change people's lives. And there are people out there who are doing it a little bit wrong. And it's not necessarily their fault. They probably just didn't have proper training. And that's why I spend a lot of time working with people on how to use social media. My accountant, like the person who does my like business taxes, one day was like, I can't believe you make this much money from like Facebook and social media. And I was like, I know, it's crazy that this is what I do, but it's because I've learned how to use social media as a true part of my business. And it's not any, there's no real secrets. It's just learning it a little bit more and paying attention. And if anything, that's something that I love to do and work with people on. So you get a proper return on your investment, your time, your effort. It's not all about the likes and the followers, because I don't have 1 million followers or 1 million likes or whatever, but I do have quality connections with people on social media. And it's genuine. I care about every single person I'm speaking with. And again, it goes back to people that you're helping. They have a problem. They have something is wrong. Like, they need help. Okay? There's a problem that needs to be solved, and we can solve it through our online fitness and health coaching business. But it starts with the connections and the conversations. So that moves me into number 4. So we've said clarity in your business, clarity in who you're working with, clarity with how, the solution that you provide, consistency in treating your business like a business, and consistency in your brand, your content, making sure that the content that you have is not all about sales, but it's mainly about posting with a purpose to educate, empower, entertain, engage, or evoke. The 4th thing comes down to conversations and connections. Online doesn't mean that you just post a really good post and you leave it there and think, if I post it, they will come. It doesn't work like that. What you have to understand is, in any type of business, okay, from moving someone from them first learning about your business to becoming a client or a customer, there is a sales process. And I know people freak out when I say the word sales. Newsflash, you're running a business. The only way that your business will be profitable, there has to be an exchange of money for a service or a product. That is what creates a business, okay? So don't get freaked out by the sales word, okay? That's just how it goes. But the difference between having an online fitness and health coaching business that's viable and successful, and that makes you feel good about yourself every day when you wake up, and you can look at yourself in the mirror and go to bed at night being proud and happy with what you do in your business, goes back to how you connect with people and how you work with your people before they even become a customer or a client. It's taking the time to have real and meaningful conversations, taking the time to understand what it is they really need, understand their goals, understand what it is that they're struggling with, understand their challenges, their obstacles, and then becoming a coach, like putting your coach hat on. So first you're just listening, then you put your coach hat on. Your coach hat is trying to figure out, how can I best help this person? That's always my question. When they're telling me all these things, all I'm thinking about is, I just want to help this person because I don't want them to feel uncomfortable in their skin. I don't want them to feel like they can't be intimate with their spouse because they feel overweight or they don't feel comfortable. I want them to be able to run around the backyard with their grandchild. I want them to be able to walk into that doctor's office in 6 weeks from now and show them the weight that they've lost, and show them the doctors that they can lower their blood pressure, that they can reverse diabetes, that they can reclaim their life. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. And so when they come to me and we have these conversations, that's all I'm thinking about. And from there, that's when I start talking about a solution. It's not always a product. It's not always Shakeology. It's not always, the 21-day fix fitness program. Sometimes, like, you know what? You just need, for the next 2 weeks, you just need to check in with me on what you're eating. I want you to get my Fitness Pal, and I want you just to start logging your meals, and every week send that to me. Because here's the thing, I need to know how committed you are. And sometimes I can hear someone, you're just not really committed yet. Or maybe what I'll do is say, you know what, let's hop on the phone. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more. And now we're digging into mindset. And now we're trying to uncover the limiting beliefs that they have and all these things. And sometimes that has to happen before I feel comfortable working with them on their fitness or nutrition, before they even sign anything or pay or purchase a challenge pack or a program or anything, or, personal training with me. Sometimes I need to work on that first. And what I have done, fast forward and, is I've created some different, products and free products and paid products, like ebooks and workbooks and audio programs and video trainings that I give to people and say, okay, go to my website, get this program. It's all about mindset. That's actually what I'm working on right now, because I really felt like people really need some structure around that. So I'm working on a 7-day program around mindset that I'm beta testing right now, and I'm really excited about it. So that just goes to show too that you can start creating, if your current offerings don't meet a certain solution, and you start hearing the same things over and over and over in your conversations, chances are that's another opportunity for your business. So yes, I'm a Beachbody coach. Yes, I'm a personal trainer. Yes, I'm a nutrition coach. But guess what? If a lot of people keep coming to me with issues with commitment and mindset and limiting beliefs, that's something that I can also offer in the form of a challenge group or something else or whatever. So that's why it's so important that you guys are taking the time to listen to what people are saying and building quality conversations with people, and not getting so caught up in trying to make the sale. I understand. I live in San Francisco. It's one of the most expensive cities in the country. And like I said, if you're so focused on the sale, then you're looking at people they're looking at them like they're walking like credit cards and money bags. That's how you're looking at them as. Instead of looking at them as people who are struggling and need your help and want you to partner with them and be their coach. So take the time to understand their goals, their needs, their challenges, and really work with them. One thing that I do with my team of coaches is I have it's a 5-step process that I train them on, how to move them from interest to customer or client. And it's a whole process that we take them through, because it one allows you to really understand and to really see if you really can help them. Because there have been times where I'm like, you know what? I don't think this is a good fit. I don't think it's going to be a good fit for me. And I don't think you're quite ready for that yet. And I don't want you to invest your money in something that you may not, I don't think you're ready for that yet. And sometimes people get upset, and sometimes they get upset and they call me back the next day and say, you're right. So what can I do between now and when I'm ready? And I'm like, okay, You still want to fight for it, but I can't want it for you. You can't lose weight for your people. You can't eat healthy for your people. You can't work out for your people. They have to want it. I can provide you with structure, recipes, meal plans, fitness programs, nutritional supplements, supportive group, an online app to check in with your workouts and your meals and Shakeology. I can give you all of that stuff. But if you're not ready for it, it's going to be a waste of your time, a waste of your money, and I'm going to feel icky and bad because I didn't take enough time to figure out what you needed. So that falls on me. And now I've let that person down because I'm another person who threw some stuff at them and just kind of let them go on their own. So that's something else to think about. So that's what I really work with my team of coaches is how to really show up as a coach. And a lot of that before they even become a client has to be with the conversations you're having before. And it doesn't have to be a long drawn out process, you guys. I don't want you to spin your wheels and feel like you're not making any money in your business, but this system works. I had a coach last month who we went through the 5-step training together and he crushed it. He got new challengers, new customers. He was growing his business. And he said it. He was like, the 5-step invite process works. Like, just do it. Don't try to recreate the wheel. Just listen to what Allison said and do it. So it's a lot about having a system and structure around how you do that. And I can show you guys how to do that too. The last things, we've had clarity in your business, clarity in what you offer, consistency in how you show up, and consistency in your messaging, the content that you share, the conversations that you have, and the last thing is credibility. Your best asset for your business is going to be credibility because I've already told you, people, when it comes to weight loss and health, it's a very personal area for most people, and many people have stopped and started. So I call it the weight loss roller coaster. My people have lived most of their life on a weight loss roller coaster, and my goal is to get them off that roller coaster and get them in a place where they feel strong, confident in how they eat, confident in their body, knowing and empowered how to just live a lifestyle that's healthier and gives them a happier and healthier, more fulfilled life, okay? So the best way to help people is building credibility through results in your relationships. Your first results are your own. It doesn't mean that you have to be perfect, okay? Because I have coaches on my team who are still on their journey, and the reality is you're always going to be on your journey because things that I could do when I was in my 20s as a 33-year-old, I cannot do anymore. Sometimes I think about eating ice cream and I start to feel like I'm gaining weight. Like, it's amazing how things just change as you get older. So, I'm constantly having to reevaluate and keep going on this journey and to keep getting my own results and showing people that it's all about, it's actually easy to lose the weight once you have the structure and you have the support. The hardest part is maintaining it. And I've been able to show, I've got a lot of people that have said, you know what, you don't have a big transformation story, but what I love about you and why I want to work with you is because you still have results years later. That's the first thing. As long as you're constantly progressing and working on yourself, that's the first thing, because people are going to look at you and they're going to say, if she can do it, if he can do it, then maybe I can do it. They're going to trust you. They're going to look at you because you have experience. You are already where they want to be. And if you're not where you want to be yet, guess what? You're still a step, 2 steps, 5 steps, 10 steps ahead of where your people want to be or where they are. You are where they want to be. So you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to be an expert about everything. Your experience alone on your journey can create enough confidence and credibility in your ability to help people, especially if you have clarity in what you do, you are consistent in what you're talking about, your content's on point, and you're creating these amazing conversations. People are going to want to work with you simply for the fact because you show up and you walk the walk and you talk the talk. Okay? The second part of it is the results of others. So that's why it's so important that you have to have a system that people can follow. You have to have a system where when someone asks, you look great, what are you doing? Or your client looks amazing, what are they doing? If you can't easily articulate what you do in one sentence, people are going to be like, it's too complicated, never mind, I'll go back to my diet pills. Seriously. When I first started, I was like, well, what I do is blah, blah, blah. And I would like make it all complicated. And at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? For my online health and fitness coaching business, how did this person get results and how do I get results? I have a group every single month. The first Monday of every single month, I fill it with 5 to 10 people. Each person gets a fitness program, a nutrition plan, they get portion control containers, and they get a meal replacement shake. And we work together all day by day through that program, hand in hand, checking in, staying accountable. As the coach, I don't let people fail. I connect with them. I follow up with them. I do all these things. And they can start to see like, okay, there actually is some structure. She's not just like making things up. And it's nothing that is too far-fetched. Work out, follow a nutrition plan, watch your portions with these containers that you get that are provided. You replace one meal a day with a superfood smoothie, and then you just check in to a group and let me coach you for a month. That's it. And people were like, okay, tell me more. And when they say, tell me more, that's when I go through that invite process and I'm talking to them and understanding their goals, their challenges. And chances are they're coming to me because of the content that I'm consistently posting, that I'm clear about posting to the people that I want to talk to. So it all works together. And if you miss any one of these points, you're going to struggle in building an online fitness business that will create income and a true source of income for you. If you miss any of these, you're going to spin your wheels, you're going to work harder, not smarter, and you're going to waste a lot of time and probably a lot of money. And you're going to say, you know what, this isn't working, I give up. The second thing is also when it comes to credibility, it's like your relationships that you start to build. So when I first started, I started working with Beachbody. That was a company that I felt that fit my goals, fit my values around fitness and nutrition. They had workout programs and a nutrition shake. Okay, 2 things I felt really like I knew were important. So I started the program first, got results with Insanity, got results with Shakeology, got my mom and my aunt to start using it. They got results. And then from there, I started to build and started talking to more people and started putting them in my challenge groups. And then it became every single month, I do these challenge groups. And I have people who've been with me for years who still stay in the challenge groups because once they've lost the weight, they have to maintain it. So it creates this monthly opportunity for me to find new people that I can help and still work with people that I've been helping with for the past months or years. That sustains my business right there. And so that's the first thing that I started partnering with Beachbody. From there, that gave me kind of the courage, because then I got certified to teach one of the Beachbody programs. Then it got me thinking, maybe I should go into personal training, because people were messaging me on Instagram and Facebook like, can you create a program for me? Or I had people who were in my challenge groups who now wanted something, different, or they wanted to start working out with me because they lived locally. So then I got my personal training certification. And then I started training at Equinox. So I'm training in this amazing gym facility. I had my clients that I would see 2 to 3 times a day. But guess what? Because I still had my challenge groups going, now I had a relationship with, connecting my brand with another brand, Beachbody. Then I just connected my brand with Equinox. And now my clients that I would see 2 times a week would then still be a part of my challenge group. So I still knew what they were doing every single day. Every client of mine who was part of my challenge groups got better results than my other clients who weren't, because I knew exactly what they were doing. Then I got my precision nutrition certification. So now there's Allison Tibbs, and on my website, on my email signatures, I can put the Equinox logo, the Beachbody logo. I can put the precision nutrition logo there. Now people are like, whoa, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Then from there, I started building my network on social media, started to grow. And then I'm getting people from NBC and Men's Fitness or Men's Health and Women's Health and Prevention Magazine and all of these companies and reporters and bloggers wanting to talk to me. And now, I just got back from speaking at the San Jose Fit Expo, where I talked about clean eating and all these things. And I was able to talk about Shakeology. I was able to talk about my precision nutrition background. All of these things started to build credibility. But as you're building your brand, you want to have something, some type of brand or some type of partnership or relationship to build from. Because doing it on your own is great, but again, my business background, both my parents are entrepreneurial, and I remember talking to my dad who has tons of startups. He's working on his like bazillionth one right now, and he said to me, Allison, when I was thinking about personal training, he was like, you know what? You're at this point where you need to take things to the next level. And that's when he was like really talking about making sure that I align myself with reputable, credible brands that are already well known in the fitness and wellness industry, and making sure that I'm aligned with those brands. And that builds credibility, and it gives you tools, resources, and ways to add more value to the people that you're working with. And that's where people sometimes they want to do it on their own. I've done it on my own. It led me into debt. It led me into depression. It was stressful. I was always trying to hunt for money. I was always like trying to stay afloat. And then I figured out a way that made the business process and the entrepreneurial process easier. And that's what I'm really recommending that you do. And, that's pretty much it, you guys. That's really how I've been able to do that. And, things are just getting started, like I'm so pumped up and fired up because I'm now working with more and more coaches and people who are joining our team and getting started. And some of you guys are on this call or watching this because a coach on my Beachbody team invited you to this call, or I invited you because I think that Beachbody could be a great starting point for you to start to build, or to give you some ideas of how to go around and build your brand and give you a little bit more credibility to build off of as you're working on other things. Because you always want to have multiple streams of income, especially in the fitness and wellness industry, because it's so large and it's always changing. And residual income is going to be something that's going to ensure that when your personal training clients go on vacation, or your nutrition coaches clients go, need to take a break, you have something in place that's going to stand, and you have a system that's streamlined and turnkey that's going to be running automatically every single day, every single week, every single month, so you can focus on what you need to do, what you need to work on. And that's really what I'm hoping that you got from this whole thing, is that you've learned some of the tips about clarity, consistency, content, conversations, and credibility, and that you're now thinking a little bit differently on how to truly build a business. And I can only give you from my experience, but what I'm telling you is that from my experience, when I went this route, things started to really change. Things started to really move. And I've been with Beachbody for 7 years. And I don't see myself being without this brand and without this company because of the value that they provide to my brand. I can help people with that. So I just wanted to let you guys know that if anything what I said resonated with you, with whether it's the content that I share with the 5 C's, or whether it's a little bit more like, Beachbody sounds like something I could be interested in. I'm like trying to make sure we're on point. We're right at the hour mark. So I'm going to wrap it up very quickly. And I will answer questions, whether it's on the Facebook Live or the chat box. But I am hosting a new coach mentoring program. It's going to be 21 days. And it's basically going to be for people, whether you are a blogger or a personal trainer or a nutritionist, or you're just, really just sharing your journey on social media and you're like, maybe I should make some money off of this and build a business around it. Wherever walk of life you are in your business, I wanted to create this mentoring program that's going to be 21 days, where I'm going to help you to create clarity in your business, clarity in who you want to work with, clarity in how to build an online coaching business through challenge groups using Beachbody's programs and products. I'm going to show you how to really use social media like a pro, like a boss, to really work your business. I'm going to show you how to set up, run, and grow your business using the social media, using online tools, how to also use online and one-on-one coaching, because that's a part of what I do even with my Beachbody business. So I'm going to teach you how to transition to that. I'm also going to do share with you guys that 5-step invite process, as well as some of the tools and resources I use to automate my business, to save time so I can work, to save me time and energy, and just how to increase your credibility as a coach and trainer who gets results. So if that's something that you are interested in, you can message me, you can comment, you can send me a message, talk to the coach who invited you, but that's really it, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through, because we have some people who are watching, and there are some questions, and you can ask away. Let's see. Do you mainly connect with people on Facebook that you've already connected with in person, or are many of these people you don't know? It's a mix of both. So a part of it is, as you're building your business, you wanna talk to as many people as you can. You want to connect with as many people as you can. So it's kind of like half and half, because I like to talk to people that I know, because I genuinely love them and care about them and want to talk to them, and help them. But what I love about social media is that as long as my content's on point and I'm being clear and honest and just authentic, people are going to reach out to you and ask for help. If I go to networking events, you'll be surprised when you tell people that you're a fitness coach or an online coach, or a health coach. They're always like, oh, so I have a question about dairy. I have a question about how much protein I should eat. And they're like so hungry for information, because there's so much crap on the internet that they want to hear from you. And so that's definitely something that it's a mix of both. You definitely want to try that. And that's something too that I will show you. I'll show you how to do that. I show you, I share with you, ways. I do role playing. So like this Monday, for our coaches, we're doing role plays. And each coach is going to come with, a challenging conversation or a challenging objection that they had. And we're going to just role play through it. So I can kind of help them to kind of figure out how to move through those conversations, because it can be weird. It can be awkward. And like the first few times that you do it, the first few times that you present your services or your offerings to people, it's scary. And I want to make sure that you feel confident in growing your business. And I want you to feel confident in talking to people about what you offer and what you provide. So that's definitely something there. So if you're interested in it, we can definitely talk more offline about that. But we are at the hour mark. I could talk about this forever, but I just want to go back real quick and hit those points. So I had my little notes here. So clarity, consistency, content, conversations, and credibility are going to be the 5 pillars that are going to help you to really build an online business that's profitable and fun and meaningful and making a difference in people's lives. If you're interested in learning more about how Beachbody can help you, then I will let you know more about what's involved in the 21-day new coach mentoring program. Again, we cover all things getting started, running your business, how to use social media, how I make money, how I've been able to leverage it, how I'm able to use that part to fuel and fund other parts of my business, and to really create a life of freedom through something that I'm just naturally already doing, because I'm so passionate about fitness and health and helping people and being an entrepreneur. So that is all that I have for you guys. Thank you for everyone who's on Facebook, who's watching, everyone who was on the call here.